Welcome, guys, to Suguroi Motorcity TV. I'm with a co-director, Gigi. Gigi is an experienced developer, real estate. How's that going right now? What are you up to?
So we're doing some gated community establishment in Ruiro, somewhere near Membli. We're working on a 20-acre piece of land, doing some residential houses, we do some school, retail spaces, as well as wonderful repeated areas for people to live in. Yep.
Good. Yeah. So beautiful development. I've been there. Yeah. So congratulations. I think in some way or form, this larger project, because now we're talking about 500 acres. You just mentioned 20 acres. Big leap. How are you taking that challenge, Justin?
So from my experience, I've seen that if you attach yourself with people who are in the industry and they know what they're doing, you give them space to operate, to do their planning, then you can be able to move in a stepwise fashion, and you can beat the stresses that come from not understanding how to go about the business. So I think my biggest take home from my first run is partnering with guys who know what they're doing, guys who can come up with a proper plan of how to go from the beginning all the way to the end. Yeah.
Okay, so Suguroi Motorsport and Leisure City, 500 acres, 489 to be exact. I think it's definitely all about motorsport, but everything has to be built up for the people to enjoy the motorsport on it. And that docket rests upon your leadership. I think our committee takes care of the real estate and the infrastructure. Fortunately, the partnering has been done, and we're still open to a lot more partnerships going forward. So those lessons that you've brought into the team are always appreciated and welcome. And we're looking forward. I think 2025 has been a very eventful year for us. So maybe you can just talk about our achievements so far in terms of the real estate. I hear there was even an approval.
A nice setup, yeah. So 2025 was a very interesting period for our real estate strategy. So since it's 489 acres, we realized we cannot exactly build it all at once. So we needed to divide it into spaces, into manageable spaces, and that is where we did our master planning. We were able to get an approval for the entire space, but now within the master plan, we're able to identify the spaces we can start with in the beginning. So we divided the whole space into two zones, Zone A and Zone B. Zone A pretty much captures the track zones, basically where the motorsport activity is going to happen, and then the Zone B is going to capture the space where during the downtime people are not involved in motorsport. Where do they get F&B residences? Where do they get entertainment and stuff like that? Basically, that's how we divided the space, and so far.
Okay, so because you're a biker and a very serious motorsport fan, but you're also a real estate developer, which is your favorite zone? Zone A or Zone B?
For me, I think Zone A justifies the whole project. I believe if we get Zone A right, Zone B will just write itself, pretty much. Because once you get the enthusiasts coming, once you get the motorsport fans coming, they bring their whole family. And if their whole family comes and finds spaces where they can be able to, just basically leisure out, then we have the buy-in of the whole community. And if you have the buy-in of the whole community, you're bringing together people in spaces where now anybody else who is involved can get value. Talking about corporates, they'll have good opportunity to sell their services, probably even their products. They're basically creating a new market space, in a sense, through this project. Yeah.
So you've mentioned About Zone A and Zone B, obviously the strategy is to kick off with Zone A in terms of permanent development. That's where the tracks are. That's where the trackside real estate is as well. But there's Zone B. It's going to take a little bit longer to have it done because it's a city side. What's currently happening on that land, even as we focus on Zone A?
Good question. So during our 2025 strategy, our way to go into the market or be able to broach the market was to prepare some off-road tracks. I think Moto spoke about this in a different podcast. We had hoped then we can engage the motorsport fraternity, especially people who are doing the off-road disciplines. And so we were able to put down a couple of off-road tracks. Within the same space we did the off-road tracks, we also did the clubhouse. Basically a place where people can come and just chill as they're watching the events, or when you enter the space, the first place that you engage with the facilities is our clubhouse, which right now we're currently trying to finish. We're at the tail end of decking and putting the upper levels, doing our rooftops just ahead of our first launch event, which we think we're going to be able to finish before that time. So yeah, that has been our strategy for 2025.
I think just to add to that, the clubhouse for us has all the key spaces that we need to even host a very amazing rally event. I'm talking about a fully fledged kitchen. There's multiple lounges, a decking at the top. There's an ablution area where you have gents and ladies. And I think even some administrative offices, so where guys can work in and people can set up. So I think it was a good start for kicking off infrastructure in that area. I believe we have water connected now. We're finalizing power, but there's power in the site already. We're just getting power connected there. And I think it's really good infrastructure going forward. Transitioning into 2026, maybe because we have a lot more in terms of infrastructure to put together. After the 2026 strategy that was held in 2025 November, real estate had the biggest ask in terms of raising a lot of money, putting down a lot of infrastructure, and I like the twist that came in with the motorsport objective, making sure that real estate can support motorsport in terms of raising revenue, investing most of the profit in the track. So maybe just talk about this track that is coming up in your first phase of 2026.
So we have a main track that is multi-configurable in the sense that in totality it's about 4.5 kilometers, but it can be divided into about 4 different iterations. One of them is what we're calling the club circuit. So the club circuit is at the south end of the main track. We're calling it the club circuit for this reason, because we're hoping to open up some flagship real estate product. This is not your typical product. Basically, we're talking about real estate, track front real estate. So there's going to be different typologies for this track front real estate. We're talking about garden villas. We're talking about row housing. We're talking about timeshare kind of units. We're looking to open up about 200 units of them in four different phases. It's put in a cluster. So where does now the club circuit come in? So people who have interest in this kind of housing will have preferential access on this circuit. So this circuit has, to access this circuit, the people who own residences in that place will be able to access the circuit through a clubhouse. So there's going to be a clubhouse in that space. A clubhouse basically is a place people who come and own the space will have access to. It's preferential to only those people who own the units there or come and reside in those units there. Think about spaces that are soft spaces for leisure, F&B, entertainment, sport within the space. Talking about paddle, I don't know, tennis nowadays. People are into those kind of things during the downtime. We're talking about retail. Yeah, it's a miniaturized kind of retail. So people who have access to this space will be the owners of the residences around there, or the people who come to patron those residences, because we're looking to partner with people who can be able to manage the residences around the area. So through this model, we are going to be able to offer people who own these residences preferential access to the track. So there's going to be a pit house within that club circuit, offering access to opportunities like arrive and drive. We'll have machinery on site. If you're able to move a car quite fast on a track, we'll be able to give you opportunity to do that. If you own your own machinery, we also have the opportunity to be able to let you drive on this track. Again, remember, we're going to be able to do this through some kind of curated calendar and preferential access. It's not just like anytime you want to arrive and drive. This helps also with the management of the space, because the club circuit is part of a major track. So during the days when we have national championships, it might be limited for you to use the track, but at the time when that is not happening, so you'll be able to have access to the track. So our club circuit is about 1.2 kilometers. It's well designed to give you enough thrill to go around some corners and go fast along some of the straights. So we're looking to open that this year, the club circuit. We're also looking to open up a show house, so that people can understand the kind of real estate offering we're trying to give people access to. We're also going to have we're also going to open up the roads. We're going to do things like pulling power, sewer, water, those kind of utilities. Set a space up, put together a gatehouse, and do also some beaconing of the available spaces that we're going to be offering to the people. So yeah, that is really how the club circuit marries with our real estate strategy.
Yeah, I think just to point on that a little, I want us to discuss about the value proposition and the target market for that particular space. I know that when we were designing the master plan, the focus was on our external views. We have very good views to very prominent features in the country, in the region at large, in the world. So maybe just talk about those key attractions, and then we can discuss about the target market and what value proposition we're selling to them.
Okay, we have... So before we even had this strategy for putting together real estate trackside, we have looked at other people who have done the same thing. So we did our case studies, places like UK, South Africa, the United Arab Emirates, some places even in America. We realized that the kind of key attractions that people have appreciated over the time have been the proximity to the track. Most of the people who buy these kind of houses, they are really die-hard motorsport enthusiasts. They are coming here to enjoy the thrill of hearing, fast-moving machinery just next to the units. So we are offering very nice balcony views from multiple levels, all the way from ground to the top. We're hoping to be able to activate rooftops for each of these kind of units that are next to the track. So on different levels, people can be able to access balcony views looking into the track. And also, because we sit right in the middle of a very interesting tourism corridor, we are able to have views of Mount Kenya on one side and views of Aberdares on another side. So we're trying to take advantage of, not only are you able to see this trackside action, you're also able to see what Kenya really has to offer intrinsically in terms of the terrain that is around the space. We would like people to be able to appreciate this unique offering. I think looking at other spaces, I don't think they'll have the same kind of offering we'll be able to offer at this place.
Okay. Yeah, in terms of the target market, I know we've gone through this exercise together because we're handling that docket jointly. The idea was have a very unique top-tier product, obviously because of the offering. I mean, you're right in front of track side, which top fast in the region, and there's not so much real estate that competes in this with that. So there's that, but we're also conscious about the rest of the guys who just want to be part of this, and hence the timeshare product. So maybe let's talk more about that product and in terms of what is the offering, what is the concept around that, before we talk about the expensive ones.
Okay. So the timeshare kind of product we came up with was, we understand that people who are friends nowadays would like to be able to invest together. And so we're looking at it this way, that we can give people an investment offering that offers more than just a return on investment. You get money in return, yes, because a 4-ball unit, what essentially we're saying is that it's a unit that can house, that has maybe 4 rooms that can house either 4 different individuals, 4 different groups of people, or people who are many and have come together at once. So look at it this way. Some people within the corporate world have friends and they're thinking, hey, we can do an investment that gives us return and also gives us opportunity to share in the value, in the real estate value that comes from a track. Because as you've said, the opportunity we're offering here is very unique. We're not talking about golf course real estate. We're not talking about a beachside real estate. We're really talking about something that's not been seen before. And we believe that there's people within this country who are very enthused by this kind of product. So yeah, maybe, I don't know whether I've left anything out, but we see that these are the kind of clients that we'll be targeting.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if you break the price down, it now becomes really attainable, because you're not talking about crazy figures now. You're talking about multiple players, multiple shareholders, and on the track you have a full calendar of activities. So every day is almost a prime hospitality day. We saw that in our case studies, as you mentioned, UK. Definitely they are way above us in terms of opportunity. But Kenya's motorsport scene is really, really thriving. We can pack a full calendar if we have a track like that. And guys will be willing to come in and use the space and pay a premium. Not even a premium to make business, but definitely to command premium because of the scarcity of the product. But definitely it's a business to look out to. It's alternative investment. It's not just a typical real estate. So obviously the shift has to be on the big ones, because we're looking at high net worth individuals to buy the big track front units. And these are probably the older generation motorsport guys. These are the guys who've seen it evolve. So maybe you can just talk a little bit more about those guys. Who are we targeting?
So the typologies are tiered in such a way that you can appreciate that there's those that are going to be more expensive than others. Of course, on the basis that some have got closer proximity to the action than others. Others have access to maybe the closer access to the clubhouse than others. So we were able to identify that different spaces will have different typologies, and those different typologies will attract different kind of pricing for the different units. So our flagship unit is the one that is closest to the track, I believe, and has close proximity to the clubhouse. So we for this kind of unit, we're looking at really high net worth clients, like you've mentioned. People who are not looking for their first or second homes. Really, these are people who are very enthused by motorsport and have a little bit of extra money and can see themselves patroning this place more than once, can see themselves bringing their own machinery and actually taking advantage of the club circuit. We have seen that in this country, people are willing to build their own vehicles and race them in different spaces in this country. Naivasha, we've seen people doing it in the Oljogi, Taita, Stony Athi, and these are people who are not looking for a return. They're actually just enjoying the hobby of driving a vehicle. And so if you're able to put down a vehicle, create a rally vehicle, and have a pit crew moving with you, so then you would see the value of potentially having a unit in that space, bring your own machinery, and every so often accessing the calendar and seeing where you can be able to to slot in and come and use the track. So that's the basic typology of the client we're looking to take on the flagship unit. Yeah.
You've obviously done this, as we discussed earlier, a 20-acre development vis-a-vis 500-acre development. The strategy was around slicing it and dicing it to edible chunks, as we normally say. Our first phase is probably going to be less than our first phase of the trackside real estate is probably going to be less than the 20. So there's a lot of financial engineering that has been put into play in terms of fundraising, redeploying the funds, redeploying the profits, and growing the larger 200-acre zone. Obviously, there's a lot more in terms of real estate going forward. There's hotels in the area, within that zone. There's apartments in that zone. So those are future developments going forward. So basically, you can just tell us what's on offer within this year to kick off this capital raising strategy for this phase.
So we have seen it this way that so before we start to do anything that generates traction, we have seen that there are people who believe in a master plan even before anything has gone to ground. So we're looking to target this kind of people who will be able to appreciate our strategy to build in the city, and people who can see that to build a city you need to start somewhere. And so we're trying to offer a few sales of empty lots in the space so that people in the future can be able to get rewarded in terms of capital gains, because if you're buying now and entering low, guaranteed by the time we are able to do construction and go to market, then the value of the product that is going to come on that property is going to be a lot higher. So we are targeting people who believe in the project, who can see the trajectory of where we have come from, where we are now, and where we hope to go. So we want to target a few, not too many sales, just enough to be able to kick off our real estate strategy, which, as you have said, put together a sort of show house, open the club circuit, bring in power and other utilities, do a gatehouse, and so that people now can start to envision exactly how eventually this space is gonna start, grow, and get towards the end. Yeah.
Speaking of partnerships, as we close, we're very fortunate to get one of the biggest master planners locally who partnered with our track designers from UK. We've retained them to do the housing. So maybe you can just talk about what we're doing with them. You can probably just talk about the farm.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful opportunity, I think, to mention Symbion, the master planners and architects who operate within Karen area. So under the leadership of Arthur and Arthur, I think both of them are Arthur. So two Arthurs within the company Symbion have been behind the design and architecture of the three typologies. We are still working on them to fine-tune exactly the three typologies that will capture all the salient features that we're hoping to be able to offer. That is work in progress, but it's very advanced. I think within the next 2 or 3 weeks, we should have our final renders of what we hope to offer. And yeah, we will be able to do one of those units as our show house.
Okay. Yeah, Geoffrey, all the best as you go into finalize the product development. I'm sure the market can't wait for the design and the pricing. I know it's going to be very enticing for people who are dreamers to our level. Yeah, all the best as you venture forward. 2026 is a bright year for the city at large. Yeah, and real estate is obviously our torch into this tunnel. So yeah, we're giving you all the backup. Yeah.